Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today, zooming in on the topic of how to resolve hurts from the past. If you have encountered a narcissist in your life, narcissistic abuse, basically shaming of your very being, the harsh criticism, the judgment, the rejection, the abandonment, the feeling less than that is really created in the atmosphere if you have been around a narcissist for quite some time. Now, narcissist personality disorder is defined as a character disorder in the DSM-5R. Essentially, there's a series of traits and qualities, but essentially boils down to this. The person has an intrinsic problem not having empathy, so they're not able to really identify with the needs, the feelings, the wishes of others. So there's really a huge gap, a disconnect, if you will, between really where another person is coming from and where the narcissist is coming from. And the narcissist also combined with a heightened sense of self-interest that really drives much of their life, their behavior, their endeavors. This coupled with a lack of empathy creates a lot of dissonance, cognitive dissonance, crazy-making, chaos, and a lot of victimization, really, for the people who are involved in their circles. And, a lot of people, have wondered that once, how do I've had questions from viewers who have inquired, how do I really get through this? How can I, overcome this feeling of extreme hurts? How do I really approach this? Is there a way to resolve this? And I want to say absolutely positively yes. If you have been victimized by a narcissist, it was an experience that was created in your life, and it was something that you endured. It was, just think of it like a storm, and think of it almost like a passing storm. So it came into your life. Perhaps it was exciting. You saw the storm rolling in. Here I go with my analogies again. But just say, for example, the narcissist is kind of like a storm. And they've been compared to stormy personalities. But let's just say, you're living your life. It's a somewhat nice day, sunny, bright, etc. And then in comes the storm. It's, a little bit exciting. There's a wind in the air. It kind of sweeps you off your feet. A lot of gusts, a lot of clouds rolling in. Maybe you see some lightning flashing. You feel the winds gust up, and all of a sudden it seems really exhilarating. And this is really how the narcissist is. They really tend to sweep people off of their feet. And they really kind of forget the victim, or the target in this case, the source of supply, to keep all of our terms straight. They really lose a sense of where they are, who they are sometimes. They lose a sense of their perspective, their values. They get swept up in this storm, if you will. And so, getting sucked up, getting kind of swept off their feet with this person, it becomes, initially very exhilarating and exciting and high energy and explosive, a lot of high energy going on. Oftentimes the narcissist will be very all-encompassing of you and your life and really create a whole new atmosphere for you. So if you're, a lot of people just feel like they just have dived into these relationships. They started very quickly, or they got hot and heavy very quickly. So, with this advent of this storm, though, oftentimes storms do leave, a path of destruction, which oftentimes is the end result, or it is an impact of dealing with a narcissist, is that they tend to destroy, by virtue of their self-interest and their lack of empathy. They do tend to exploit, victimize, and hurt others through their neglect, through their condescending ways, through belittling ways, through their shaming ways. So, if, this is just their nature, and they feel it's almost like the eye of the storm. They have such a vacuum inside. They have such an emptiness. They have such a really core of insecurity that's what drives and motivates really a lot of their behaviors, their relationships, their career path, etc. So, the people who are left in the wake of the narcissist are oftentimes left feeling very victimized, feeling more vulnerable, feeling weakened by the experience. And people wonder, how can I ever restore to my sense of sanity once again? How can I shrug off this sabotage? Well, it is absolutely that. You have to learn to shrug it off and let the storm pass. Do not keep entering into the storm. In other words, don't keep, these types of toxic, narcissistic personality types in your life, because there are certain people who are very high on the scale of self-interest and very stormy type of personalities who, you originally might be attracted to, but in the end result are not beneficial for you. And it's okay to let these people go. I think a lot of people who stay in these shame-based relationships, they really feel like, it's not okay to let them go. They feel that they hang on too long because they feel in their nature oftentimes being codependent, meaning they like to adulate others, they like to look up to others, they like to take care of others, they like to satisfy the needs of others. This codependency, though, can be very damaging. This sort of identity of perceiving yourself as a caretaker can be extremely damaging, because it can take all of you and all of your energy and all of your attention just to take care of another, and meanwhile you don't really get the chance to live your life. Here you're the fuel of another's life. You're essentially there to be there for their needs and revolve around them, yet you're missing out on a feeling of your own joy, bliss, independence, fulfilling your own life calling, dreaming for yourself, spreading your wings, as they say. So, really you have to identify that and say, what, it's really time for me to pull back on the reins and take a look at things. And now I have to, I owe it to my life and my life purpose and my life calling to let them go, and let them go in forgiveness, and let them go in non-judgment. And now I have to focus in, however painful it might be, however difficult it might be, but I have to learn to focus in and take care of myself now. I have to be strong for myself. I have to have that rigorous honesty. I have to have that rigorous courage. I have to be able to now champion my own life rather than trying to champion the needs of another's life. So for a lot of people, this transition, this change is very difficult. They find it very painful. They feel like they have a lot of guilt and again, shame, holding them back, and they are afraid to abandon another because of the whole abandonment that has been set up within them. So that transition of letting them go is a very tough maneuver. However, with daily practice and daily understanding and permission, that letting go can take place. And it really is the best thing for you. Even though it seems foreign, even though it seems uncomfortable, even though it seems wrong, really, understanding that it's the right thing to do for you to embrace your strength, embrace your talent, and really get that guttural courage within yourself. That guttural courage to take care of yourself, and knowing that you are a person of worth, and your whole life is not meant to be poured over another, but that your life is meant to for you to develop your own interests and not to feel guilty by it, that fog that they say that has been created in victimization. So making that transition from victim to victor is really what we're looking at here. So the daily act of letting go, the daily act of letting go of that feeling of shame, the daily act of letting go of that feeling of victimization, that daily letting go of feeling like others are more important than you, that daily letting go, that feeling like your only goal in life is to take care of others and that you are not worthy of being taken care of, the daily letting go of feeling that you are flawed and that the only way you can make up your sense of being flawed is to take care of others and subvert yourself and submerge yourself and suppress yourself. The daily letting go that you are not worthy, and the daily embracing that you are worthy, that you are wonderful, that you are magnificent. The daily embracing that you are enough. The daily embracing that you do have a gift to give to the world, and that is your own heart, and that is your own joy, and that is your own expression, and that is your own personal growth, and that is enough to give to the world. And whatever confusion you had about that before, you also daily let that go. And forgive yourself for ever feeling less than. Because the victimization is really that. It's them projecting onto you that you are less than, that you are not good enough. And that is not the truth. The truth is you are good enough. You have a heart. You have connection. You have love of life. And that little spark, you need to nurture that little spark every day. Ignite it and follow that dream. Those things that you love, that you have a passion for, that make you happy, that are truly interesting from you. And it's taking you out of victimization, then you are on the right path. And you will slowly begin to feel a sense of empowerment and then wholeness and integrity in life, which is truly what life in your life is all about. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please do share, please subscribe, and please stay tuned for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.